everyone. I'm Rochelle Chernowski. This is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, July 10th. On today's show, Carol Clark tells us the importance of knowing our primary care physician. We'll also meet Rusty Shaver, whose work with the RAND Corporation influenced everything from nuclear war to the space race. But first, we want to remind you about the next big event in our summer concert series, happening tomorrow night. We'll enjoy a classical evening with a unique trio consisting of flute, viola, and harp. The Sunshine Trio are Scott O'Donnell playing the viola, Kay Kemper on the harp, and Beth Larson playing the flute. This special combination of instruments brings a new sound to traditional classical favorites, as well as popular numbers from the American Songbook. All three are accomplished musicians and are featured performers with the Southwest Florida Symphony and the Palm Beach Symphony Orchestra. Come hear the Sunshine Trio tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. in the church auditorium. Tickets are just $15, so get yours today at either service desk. The Crystal Room has always been a great place to enjoy a pre-concert dinner with unique specials every night of the week. That's even more true this summer, as the Crystal is now offering new specials on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesday nights still feature the Design Your Own Pasta Bar, but now with a new lower price, just $8.95 for all the pasta you can eat, plus unlimited soup and salad. So if you enjoy pasta, tonight's your night. On Friday nights, the Crystal Room has traditionally featured its seafood buffet and nothing else, but now they are also offering everything on the a la carte menu as well. So whether you enjoy seafood or tree food, you can get it at the Crystal Room on Friday nights. For more information, you can call the Crystal at 454-2199. We also have a Health Connection class you should be planning for. It features the facilitator of our medical center, Carol Clark. She has vital insight into how a doctor's office operates, and she can help you get the most out of every visit to your primary care physician. This special Health Connection event takes place next Wednesday, July 17th at 1:15 p.m. in the Social Center on the island. Mary Franklin has this preview.
I'm here today with Dr. Carol Clark, and we're going to talk about an upcoming program she will be presenting in the Social Center on July 17th, which is a Wednesday at 1:15 p.m. The topic is maximizing your relationship with the primary care physician. And this is really important because the whole medical world's going through a transition. The healthcare system is ever changing. New things are always in the news. And you're going to summarize it all and let everyone know what they need to know straight from you. And Dr. Clark, thank you for doing this, because this is the second time you are doing this presentation. It actually is backed by demand because we had a packed house and everybody says they want more information and they hope that you can let the information go out to even more people. So thanks for doing it again for us.
You're welcome.
Who do you hope comes to this session?
Well, of course, I would hope that every Shell Point resident could come and hear it. We could just offer it till everybody was saturated with the information. That won't happen, but hopefully the folks who come will be verbal and encourage other people to get this information somehow. The reason that we want people to have the information is our goal is always to care, serve, and satisfy residents. And at the Shell Point Medical Center, we already go above and beyond because we offer a 25-minute appointment, which is for the most part unheard of, probably anywhere in the state.
Right.
Even at that, the 25 minutes can turn into 60 or 90 if the appointment becomes out of control or too much is attempted to be accomplished in one setting. So I want people to understand that scarcity is not the issue any longer.
Right.
There used to be an idea that, well, I'm only going to get an appointment once every year or once every 6 months, so I have to take my list.
Right.
And that list can turn the appointment into a very dissatisfied experience because it's not possible to address a list.
Right. Now, from the last session, one of the things I learned was that there really sure there's more than this, but there are 3 different types of appointments. There's the sick appointment, I need fixed now.
Yes.
The physical, and a wellness visit. And you can't go to a sick appointment expecting to be taking your wellness to be looked at. You're just getting that sore throat taken care of. And you're going to talk about that?
I am. I'm going to talk about the different categories of appointments and the different time slots that are allotted for each of those, and how to make the most of it so that you come away feeling satisfied that my need was met today.
Right. And also last time a lot of people were very intrigued by that wellness visit, and you talked about that. How does that tie into LifeQuest?
Well, as you know, LifeQuest is an effort for people to take control of their wellness, and this is an initiative that is nationwide, if not worldwide now, because we no longer can afford the sick care model, which has been in place for eons. Therefore, we want to link up with the LifeQuest program, and we've done that by bringing the wellness visit approved by Medicare into being. It's a once a year. It can occur 1 year and 1 day apart.
Right.
And it's a 50-minute visit with your provider, and it is not meant to be a physical. It is a review of all the medications, a review of all the diagnostics, and then a plan put in place for what needs to happen in the coming year. And the smart thing, I think, is about the LifeQuest is there's a way to really link those positively so that the medical professionals are assisting residents to accomplish their LifeQuest goals with relationship to the physical.
Well, I invite everyone to come because it's not every opportunity that we get a behind-the-scenes look at the medical field, and you're doing that specifically, what to expect here at Shell Point and how it relates specifically to them. So we appreciate you taking your time out to do so, because this is a unique opportunity. I don't think any of my doctors out there would take the time to do this. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
So if you would like to sign up for this program, once again, it's on Wednesday, July 17th at 1:15 in the Social Center. It's entitled Maximizing Your Relationship with the Primary Care Physician. I'm Mary Franklin with Dr. Clark. Have a happy and healthy day.
Our next story involves a new resident who worked for a think tank called the RAND Corporation. Now, you may not have heard of RAND, but you've certainly heard of the issues for which they were consulted by the government and the military: nuclear war, air traffic control, space travel and satellites, and even the Star Wars programs of the 1980s. Rusty tells us about his unique background in engineering and world affairs.
I liked building model airplanes and stuff when I was a kid, balsam wood and all that stuff, you know, and flew them around. And I knew I was good at that sort of stuff, and I was interested in it. And I was also very interested in world affairs in some sense. You know, even at the pretty young age, I was reading a lot of the books out of World War II, and I could have gone to any school in the country, and I chose Yale. I thought I was over with my education. I was now the time for me to go and do my thing. I worked for General Electric, up in Utica, okay, where I could play golf until 11 o'clock at night. People in GE called me up and said, well, you've been there a year, where do you want to work? And the job that I had gotten after this, I really liked. I was doing very well, and I was happy, frankly, and I said, this kind of work I really can do well, and I really like it, and I want to stay here. And the personnel people said, well, you can't. And I said, well, why not? He says, well, that job can only be held by somebody who has a master's degree. So I looked around, looked at MIT, looked at Berkeley, looked at one or two other schools, MIT, and it's a wonderful school, full of nothing but men. And I was single, and I said, I'm going west. When I got out to Berkeley, I had saved up money for, I hope, for 3 semesters. Now I have really no money at all, and so I had to do something. My father sent to me an article, and it was about how to play blackjack. how to win at blackjack, I should say. So I actually went up quite a few times up to Tahoe or Reno, and I bet. I was up there with my roommate, one of my roommates, and we were playing blackjack, and it was in the morning. And I knew that it was rich with aces, and my friend, he had 2 cards there, and he turned them over. It was 2 tens that he had, and he knew that there was 2 aces left. And he said, I want to double down. And he said, sir, you have 20. You don't want to double down. Give him the card. So sure enough, 2 aces. And of course, I continued that throughout the rest of my education at Berkeley, and I stopped doing it, when I didn't have to do it anymore. I was about to graduate in January. So I didn't have a job, okay, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. So I'm sitting there in a chair, not unlike the one I'm sitting on now, and the guy sitting next to me, he got up for his interview, for whatever it was. I was bored, and when he got up, he left the pamphlet on his chair. I read it, this is the place I should work. This is it. I mean, honest to God, this is it. RAND was founded shortly after World War II by the Air Force. This organization was filled with PhDs. At the top of their list was, what about all those nuclear weapons? What do they really mean for the future of not only the U.S. Air Force, but for the nation? It was RAND's job to, without interference from the Air Force, or from anybody else for that matter, to figure out what nuclear war was all about. The movie was about one general got crazy and sent the B-52s into the Soviet Union to blow up the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union had a doomsday bomb, and if it went off, it would kill the world. Well, Kubrick, who was the director, did it. He got 3 people from RAND, went over there and helped with the script, and a lot of the things that were in the movie are the very things that we worked like crazy on. Is it really possible that a pilot with a B-52 could take off and take into the Soviet Union and drop a nuclear bomb on them? Those kind of things were the nuts and bolts of what of the stuff that RAND was doing in those days. Really trying to understand what a nuclear war would look like and how horrible it would be. The night goggles, having these goggles that worked in Vietnam was a big plus for the Army. Worked well as long as there was a moon up there. But when the moon wasn't there, they didn't work well at all. So they decided, could we simulate a moon? Build a satellite, okay, with a flat surface. So when the sun was shining on it, you could have it focused on Vietnam and light up just like a moon, okay? So it was an artificial moon. It went as far as I could go in trying to find a suitable material that would shine, like a mirror, but at the same time not disintegrate under the power of the sun. And the answer was, we couldn't find one. We just couldn't find one.
So no artificial moon?
No artificial. It would have been great if you could have done it. NASA was looking for something to do after Apollo. And so the shuttle was invented as a new launch vehicle that could put men into orbit, and all that stuff. The first part of that, which they rolled out, was a 2-stage vehicle. The bottom level was a gigantic airplane. Then the shuttle would drop that part off, and then it would turn its own rockets on and go on up. Okay. Meanwhile, the big thing here, when they would turn around, land back on the thing, they would get off, they'd take out the hoses, hose it off, wait for the next time doing it. That was the concept. It had a few little problems with it. RAND was involved in the cost analysis of it, okay, and when we looked at it, this two-stage thing, just the building of it, we estimated to be about $10 billion. I wrote my little report on it, sent it into D.C. The Senate asked to have all of the documents that have been written by the various organizations, and Mondale stood up in the middle of the thing with holding out such as this paper by the Rand Corporation is going to kill the shuttle. He wanted to kill the show, by the way. Yeah, and I got my name in the front of the New York Times and all that kind of stuff. The idea was to defend the country against nuclear attack. How are we going to deal with the multiple ICBMs that the Soviets had? One of the first things I got to Rand was to evaluate what was then called BAMBI, ballistic anti-missile something. It was a nice thing to look at, okay, but it was not affordable by any stretch. So it was abandoned. But it was done again and again and again. So the idea that was pushed in the early 1980s was a modern version of BAMBI. We're going to put up things into space. When we saw the rockets coming up, go down and try to hit it. Not quite so easy to do in real life. First problem is their missiles are in various locations. The BAMBIs themselves, are in an orbit, and they can't really shoot all that far off the orbit. The reason we didn't just wait for them to come over the horizon and shoot at them then, well, they have decoys and all that kind of stuff. They get more and more and more till they get to the point where the cost was so outrageous, it just wasn't worth it. I'm proud of the stuff I did. I'm just an ordinary researcher at Rand. I mean, they liked me because I was good at it, but basically that's what I was. Most of the time it was good. And when it was good, I got the opportunity to talk to people who mattered.
It's time now to cover all of Wednesday's happenings from Resort Services. Then stay tuned for your Academy News, menus, and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the Happening segment of ShellPoint TV. I'm Suzanne Zavada, and I'm here to go over everything happening Wednesday, July 10th here at ShellPoint. The day will begin at 9 o'clock with the Round Robin Men's Doubles Tennis Group meeting out at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. Also at 9 o'clock, we have the Watercolor Group with Phil Hilton in the Art Studio on the island. At 10 o'clock, the Ladies Bible Study Group will meet in the Osprey Room on the island. And at 10:15, we have the Model Yacht Sailing Club meeting out at the Commons Lake at the Woodlands. At 11:30, we have a Health Connections, Specifics, and Strength training in the Health Club on the island. And at 1 o'clock, chess will be played in the Library Lounge on the island. At 1:45, we have another Health Connections, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1 in the Health Club on the island, and this is closed. At 3 o'clock, we have the behind the scenes of the call center, and they will meet at the Marina Gazebo. Sign up is required for this. Also at 3 o'clock, we have the Bible study in the community room of King's Crown on the island. We also have the Health Connections Pilates stretch at the Health Club on the island. And our last 3 o'clock activity is the Memory Care Group meeting in the third floor craft room of King's Crown. At 4 o'clock, Lily and Company Jewelers will be here for the weekly jewelry service. They will be meeting in the Egret Room on the island. At 4:30, we have indoor bocce taking place at the Health Club on the island. And our last activity of the day is 7:15, Prayer and Praise with Andy Hawkins in the Village Church on the island. That wraps up your Wednesday. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here for Thursday.
Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Wednesday. At 9 o'clock, Painting with Karen and Herb continues in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. And at 10:15, iPad and iPhone walk-in clinic continues right through July in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. Just bring your iPad or your iPhone, your Apple ID, and your password. There will be volunteers ready to help you between 10:15 and 11:15. At 10 o'clock, we have American Art, Colonial to Contemporary, Session 2 of this art history class in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Sign up is required. At 1 o'clock, Intermediate Bridge continues in the game room at the Woodlands. And at 1:45, we have a flash drive prep school in the Computer Teaching Center. Sign up is required. Tomorrow, we have a new class by Dean Traxler of Rosemont. Organize your hard drive.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is grilled beef medallions with Yukon Gold potatoes and summer squash. For dinner, the special is the pasta buffet with the special summer price of $8.95, and the soup of the day is chicken Florentine. In the Island Cafe for lunch, enjoy a Sloppy Joe with coleslaw for $6.95. The dinner special is fried shrimp for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Wednesday are Florida Grouper for $18.95 or ribeye for $16.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods from the Village Church, and frequently our choir has the privilege of collaborating with other musicians as we sing praise to God. Recently, we joined our voices with the Pompano Beach New Presbyterian Church Youth Choir. It was a joy to have about 80 singers in the combined chorus, with the youngest being 12 years of age, and the most experienced singer has 92 years under his belt. And it was our delight to sing the spiritual, Keep Your Lamps. As with many of the slave songs, this song's impetus came from hearing a sermon based upon the parable found in Matthew 25. In this passage of Scripture, Jesus tells the story of the wise and foolish virgins. They had been told that the bridegroom would be coming. Thus, they got their lamps, trimmed them, and set them burning, and went to the appointed place. However, the bridegroom did not arrive at the appointed time, and the foolish only brought enough oil for one night. They then returned to get more oil, and of course, the bridegroom came while they were away. Jesus then says to his disciples, "You know not the day nor the hour of my return. Be ye ready." As a response to this, one can only imagine the song stirring from the soul of one slave listener. Jesus was indeed a deliverer and a hope for the slave. One can only speculate that this song was sung often when there was a possibility of deliverance. For all of us, this song encourages us to be faithful to the Lord as we walk life's journey day by day, faithfully serving Him and looking for His return. I trust you'll enjoy this rendition of the Village Church Choir and the Pompano Beach New Presbyterian Church Youth Choir under the direction of John Wilson, singing, "Keep Your Lamps Trimmed and Burning."
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we find out how a simulator can help us better understand hearing loss. We'll also talk to Dr. Roger Herchak about his role on the hospice floor of the Larson Pavilion. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, July 10th. I'm Rochelle Chernowski. From all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.